Mistakes. Mistakes are sometimes unavoidable. Forgetting your anniversary, eating too much Taco Bell, placing the devil's wager on forcing a fart out when you know you shouldn't have. All end with predictably horrible, sometimes tragic consequences. Scale modeling is no different. In our constant pursuit of perfection, we sometimes fail miserably, creating abominations which will haunt your shelf and your dreams. We have all finished models which have not met even close to our expectations, and they will linger, taunting you, a middle finger to hours of work at the bench. Icarus, you flew too close to the sun, and now you have fallen back to earth, with your deformed stumps where your wings used to be. But alas, unlike that $3 menu bean burrito you shoved down your throat, you can undo your act of plastic heresy, and I am here to show you how. Not the hero that we want, but the hero that we need. Ladies and gentlemen, how we doing? Jay Bookie back again with another video, and as you might have guessed, we are going to be showing you how to strip your military model mistakes with Simple Green, a commonly available US household cleaner and degreaser. Simple Green's a great choice because it's non-toxic, non-corrosive, and has a pleasant smell, so it's very easy to work with. The first thing we're going to do is put our military model inside of a plastic or Tupperware container and apply a generous pre-coating of Simple Green over the top and let it soak in. After only a few minutes of Simple Green application, we can already see that some of the paint and pigment that I added to this model is starting to wear off. After your first coat dries, I recommend spraying another application of Simple Green and letting that dry off as well. For reference, this model is coated in a very thick Vallejo polyurethane varnish, and as we can see, the Simple Green ate right through that with a little bit of elbow grease and a Q-tip. Another swab of a Q-tip shows even more advanced degradation of the paint that's on this model. After pre-treatment, we're going to get a small cup, fill it with Simple Green, get a toothbrush, and go to work. And as you can see, it's already produced some pretty significant results. I recommend that when you start working with the toothbrush, you want to use small circular motions with a little bit of pressure, but not so much that you rip off any glued down pieces. I also recommend working the solution into a lather. Eventually you will start to see the paint erode off the surface of your model. Do this until you start to see major holes in the paint. You should be able to go right down to the primer with just this step. As you can see, this works pretty well with the acrylic paint that I decided to spray on this model. However, I am not so sure about enamels or lacquers. If someone wants to test that, please let me know how it works out. After only about 5 minutes of vigorous scrubbing with this toothbrush, we can see some major degradation of the paint that was applied previously. Also, I'm only using a soft bristle brush here. If you use an intermediate or a stiff bristle toothbrush, your results may vary. You actually may do less work than I am doing right now. After 10 minutes, we can see some real progress being made. This paint is getting super soft. I actually have 3 layers of paint on this, so that just shows you how powerful this stuff really is. A third application and the work continues. Just keep at it. Make sure you get the paint out of all of the grooves and recesses because that's where it likes to stick the most. And that's going to prove to be your most difficult part of this. After your preliminary work, put your model back inside the bin and fill it up with Simple Green and let it soak for about a half hour to 2 hours. After you're done soaking, pull your model out, get your toothbrush, and go back to work. And as you can see, the underside of this model is starting to look real gnarly as all this varnish and paint just disintegrates. This little trumpeter KV-122 is not having a good day right now. Now that most of the paint has been removed, we can focus on the bits that aren't coming off so easily under brush pressure. And for that, I'm just using a nice sharp toothpick and I'm going to work here. If the paint has been properly degraded by the Simple Green bath, this toothpick should just slake off them difficult bits. Another interesting point to make, you can also see that the primer is now starting to come off. I wasn't trying to remove everything because I know that's going to be an exercise in futility. However, I want to get most of the textured stuff off so when I respray this with primer, it doesn't show through in the new coat. And when you're done soaking, scrubbing and picking the paint off this model, run it under a cold water faucet and get the chemical off of it. Depending on how much residue is left behind, you may need to go back and soak this for longer. However, after one application, we can see how drastic the results are. And that's all there is to it. A little bit of elbow grease, some cheap household cleaner, and your toothbrush are all you need to start the restoration process of a mistake you probably shouldn't have made in the first place. Quick video, I know, but I hope you all enjoyed it and got something out of it. If you like what you saw, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you again in the next one.